Hi everyone, Caroline here. Question for you. Have you ever been caught up in someone's energy and not in a good way? Have you ever been in a situation where you're trying to process someone out of your system or an experience you had with that person out of your system? And no matter how many times you have tried to remove that person's energy from your system, the mere mention of that person's name, the mere encounter with whatever it is that that person is involved with, is enough to still trigger you and bring you back to almost square one of starting the process, to the point where you're like, oh my gosh, what have I been doing? I think I've been doing this clearing process and I think I've been dealing with this issue, but why is it still coming up? You know what I mean? This thing still happens to me with some people, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, you know? But anyway, if you know what I mean, and you're also still caught up in some of these processes and would like to know how to kind of deal with it, let me share with you a process that has been helping me of late, and I have noticed considerable difference in how I have been approaching this situation. And I honestly feel that I've found something that is working for me. So, this process of disentanglement from other people's energies is what I call say their name and see. Say their name and see. So, how you would work with this very easy process is after the person has sort of triggered you, or if the person's energy comes into your presence, and after you have done your own clearing processes, wait for a number of days, 3 days. I like 3 days, 5 days, however many days after this process has been done. And that means after you've done your clearings and after you've balanced yourself or whatever, and then say that person's name. Say the person's name aloud and see how you feel. If you still feel some type of way after hearing that person's name, you know that there's still some emotional attachment to that person's energy. But if you feel neutral and calm or whatever, then that's fine. For me personally, I've struggled with some of these people because honestly, it's not like those people ever did anything to me. I'm not even sure why. Sometimes I have some emotional attachment to those specific individuals. And even after the clearing processes, sometimes it happens and it's a matter of wash, rinse, repeat. I have to keep repeating this process. But I've found out, especially with someone that was always a triggering element or a triggering person to me for no reason whatsoever. Honestly, there's really no reason why this person was there to trigger me. I was not even like, you know what I mean? Like, what is this? But that person would trigger me. And every time the person's name was mentioned or I saw something about that person, I'd just kind of just start going on a rant about nonsense, basically, about this person. Like, okay, what is wrong with you, Caroline? You know what I mean? Those kinds of things. And I'll be like, there's really no reason for this, but it would happen to me. So I found out about this process of say that person's name and see how it feels. And as I've been utilizing this process of saying those people's names every time they came up, I've begun to notice how much more neutral I am to them, to the point where for some of these people, I'm no longer triggered, but I still have some work to do with certain other individuals. And sometimes it's not always about the person who directly irritates you. It's also sometimes about the people who seem okay, but their presence in your environment causes some underlying stress that you can't really explain. You know what I mean? Just because they're there, they work on your nervous system. They don't have to say anything. They just work on your nervous system and you don't feel safe. You don't feel calm. You feel irritated or something. And these are the worst because they're kind of undercover and they're very familiar to you. So you really have to be alert on what is causing this underlying stress. And once you identify the persons involved in those situations, usually the familiar people, these are the sort of sometimes dangerous people, then you can use this process to disentangle yourself from the energies, because this is just one of the other ways in which you can let go. Say their name. Say their name every few days until when you feel neutral within yourself. And if it does happen again, wash, rinse, repeat. Okay? Anyway, what do you think? Let me know in the comment section. It's a new day. I love you, and I hope this is helpful for someone. Bye.